What's up guys, it's Gaz, welcome to the Warframe video. So today we're going to have a first of many revisit of old weapons I've already done videos on this channel. Now keep in mind, this is not the only kinds of videos we'll be making here, but there's been some things that have been changed in the last, lots of things have changed in the last few months in Warframe. We got the status rework, we got the self-damage removal, we got some other things along the lines of that, so we also got the armor rework of course. So I'm going to be going over some weapons here, and the first one we're going over right now is the okay, say it with me. Zhuge Prime. Oh man, it was probably the wrong way to say that, but whatever. Just trust me, I'm not saying the huge prime like I wanted to. Zawardo! But no, so we have this full auto crossbow, which is going to fire explosive bolts. And honestly, after the rework that they did to self-damage and things along the lines of that, it feels better for sure. It definitely feels better than it did before. I actually made another video on this on my channel before. How many months ago was that? This was July of 2019. I made a video on this, probably like a couple days after it came out. And my main complaints in that video were how this thing was really troll and I died all the time to it. So let's just turn off invincibility in the simulacrum. So this is how this thing works. You shoot crossbow bolts. They sit in the target for like a second, and then they explode. So before, that was extremely frustrating because if you misfired a little bit, like shot a couple shots into the ground, even into the enemy, and got stuck there, if you kept moving forward, because obviously you're moving really fast in Warframe all the time, it was very easy to die because the way self-damage worked, it was just so, you were going to one-shot yourself pretty much every time you get hit by it. So how that is nowadays is it will stagger you with the shots, and you will not take any damage. So honestly, that entire element of this weapon getting staggered, I don't really notice it as much anymore. It's a 3-meter radius on the explosion, and it also, unlike a lot of the other self-damage explosive weapons, or previously self-damage explosive weapons, this thing's damage fall off is only 30%. So no matter how far away the enemy is from the point of impact, it will be taking at least 70% of the damage. Additionally, this thing has 2 damage elements to it. It has the impact of the arrow damage right here, which is 50, mostly weighted into puncture. And then it also has the explosion damage here, which is 40, mostly weighted in the slash. So I was actually kind of like freaking out earlier. I'm like, wait, why does the damage look so much lower compared to before? Before, on the old UI, they would actually combine the explosion damage and the impact damage into one. So this is how it actually is. I guess it's actually 2.6 meter radius on the explosion. And not 3. I said 3 there. Okay, either way, it's really tiny and you hardly notice it. So I'm going to show you a couple builds here. We're going to do a no Riven build, of course, and then we'll do a live gameplay with a Riven build, as long as it's not Ambulous. Alright, so this is actually the exact same build I showed in the video like 6 months ago, but I changed one thing. I took off Vigilante armaments and I put on some fire rate, because putting some fire on this weapon is really nice. It has the additional bonus of when its magazine is fully empty, it reloads much faster. So, as you notice right here, 3-second reload, kind of a yikes if you don't use the additional passive it has of completely emptying your magazine. So, as you see right here, good crit chance, good stash chance, good crit multiplier, 30 magazine, and it's got actually pretty good Riven disposition as well. So, pretty nice here. And it is silent. It's a crossbow, so crossbows don't make noise apparently in this universe. So let's show on some level 50s, you know, just like your run-of-the-mill normal enemies. And we'll throw on invincibility just for convenience sake. This is with no outside buffs. We are using no arcanes to buff damage. That's one shot right there. She probably won't die to it, unfortunately. So as you see, this is not anything like Brahma levels, but you can spam this full auto into that group. And this is with Hunter Munitions and a viral build. I don't know if I'd call it good. Like, I wanted to just like revisit this thing to see how it feels nowadays. And like, if you get a headshot slash proc, sure, it's gonna be okay. But yeah, if those guys are all in an area like that, one Brahma bullet would have killed every single one of them, like unconditionally, even with like probably like missing a couple mods in the build. So yeah, I originally wanted to make this thing like a main weapon for Nova because I love explosion weapons on Nova. But yeah, even though that it's like. Even though they removed the self-damage portion of it, I don't think it's very good. I really wish it was. As you see, we melted that level 100, but that was about like 16 bullets there. All headshots, too. So see, like the guys are taking some, or the gunners are taking some area damage here, and the area damage is doing basically nothing, not even tickling them really. So don't really count this thing as an AoE weapon. It's more of the explosion part of it is basically just giving you additional damage. It's not really giving you AoE. The AoE is not really a factor, and especially when you're in an actual mission, like when you're just like jumping around firing it, like shooting the ground, you're gonna get pretty much no damage. See, we got like 200 damage on her. The entire magazine, like the AoE is just underwhelming. Is what I'm trying to say. So you're gonna want to get direct hits with this thing, even though the damage, the radial damage fall off is only 30%. So a little bit underwhelming. I'm not even going to do... We can do a couple 170s. Let's do some bombards, too. Bombards are a lot weaker to slash procs. So let's give that a shot real quick. And we'll do 170 bombards. Hopefully this looks good, right? It's making the weapon look pretty underwhelming. So you could actually take off the fire rate and just put more damage. See, it destroyed him. So that's pretty good. But honestly, like... Having low fire rate on this thing just feels awkward. We can do it in a mission here. I'll take off the fire rate mod and we'll run more damage. But overall, I'd say I don't really recommend this thing to you guys. Yeah, especially for enemies that are like this high level. Now, it's nice for proccing CO, I guess, but I mean, what is it really? Like, you can definitely bring a specific weapon for CO proccing. And this is mostly Hunter Munitions doing the work, to be honest. Where'd you come from? Still alive? Alright. She should be dead to those slash procs. So yeah, the build I was showing you there is a viral HM build. You know, primed cryo. I'll quickly show it with no fire rate so you guys can see how that feels too. And then we will hop into a mission with a Riven. And by the way, I'm running one dual stat here and one primed cryo mod. I could throw another dual stat on there for more stash chance, and that's going to bump it up to, I think it's like 80-ish. No, 66% stash chance. You decide if you like that. I think that making the crits a little bit higher with the primed cryo is more important to me. But you might think it's a little bit better to do more stash chance. On my actual build that I use most of the time, I am running a Riven mod with stash chance on it. So that's going to get me to 97% stash chance. And I run 2 dual stats on this one. So it has customization. I'd say putting some more some bigger crits on there is overall what I'd recommend in the long run. But, you know, it's up to you. Like I said, if you like it, you like it. And by the way, I'm running the Terminal Velocity Projectile Flight Speed Excellence mod. So we'll do the low fire rate here, so how that goes. Just remember, this is no outside buffing at all. So these guys got mowed down by the fire rate before. As you see, really slow fire rate now, but it's hitting harder. We did about 6 bullets on that guy. He should be dead. And the Vigilante bonus is also going to make it so our yellow crits become orange crits. And if we somehow got an orange crit, it could possibly become a red crit. Keep in mind, split flights does not work on crossbows. I would actually... Split flights would be amazing on this thing, wouldn't it? Like, I wish they didn't arbitrarily decide that crossbows couldn't use split flights, because on actual normal bows, split flights is really annoying to use. And I know it works pretty well on the Mutilus Cernos, but the other ones, like, you're going to have to like be spamming your shots constantly to keep that buff going. So, alright, let's put some actual... a full build on here with the Riven and all that stuff, and let's get the cat and we will hop into mission. So the Riven we're running right here is it is stash chance critical damage plus reload speed and minus infested. So this is because, like I said, the reload on this thing is 3 seconds at base. If we fully empty the magazine with this build, it will be reloading really fast. And I would actually love to throw on some more fire rate here, but I need to find a mod to actually take off for that. We could possibly take off something like our critical damage mod, since we already have critical damage on our Riven. We could throw a fire rate there. But, you know, let's just try that. Let's just try that, see how that goes. And keep in mind, all of the, or rather, most of the fire rate mods have double the effectiveness on bows, and this thing is technically a bow, so you get double the amount of fire rate when you run it on this thing. So we'll do vital acceleration, 15 bullets per second. And let's take a look at that reload speed. With a reload Riven, that was probably, I want to say like a second and a half. Now, keep in mind, guys, there are some bugs with some of these passives, some innate passives for these weapons. So, for example, I've heard that this Zhuge Prime, and yeah, I know I said it wrong. All right, if you guys know how to say that word correctly, let me know in the comments, because we had a discussion in the Discord server earlier, and I still don't know how to say it properly. Oh, we're on public. Rip. Well, we're doing a public matchmaking mission. That's just how it goes. I don't know how to say that word properly. I tried to look it up on Google, and it didn't seem like Google even knew exactly how to say it either. It's apparently a crossbow manufacturer from like ancient Chinese war times. I don't know exactly. But yeah, if you know how to pronounce it, please type it out phonetically in the comments down below, and I will take a look. And yeah, sorry that I can't speak English properly, apparently. So here we go. We have the Riven here, and we're already on top of the siphon. It is the Raptor. Here's a gunner right here. Alright. Yeah, so another thing, like, actually it's a good thing we loaded in the public mission here, because something I have noticed, like a big part of your damage is in the afterwards explosion. A lot of the times the enemies just don't survive long enough to take the after effect explosion. They're already going to be dead. So you are losing a good chunk of your damage if you're running this thing. So as you see, like, the explosions didn't really do much to him at all. That's just a corpus too. So you kind of expect a little bit more of a prime weapon with a Riven. Now, like I said, I did take off the critical damage here, so it's a little bit weaker than it probably should be. And they're also taking double damage from Nova's debuff. Alright. So yeah, like I said, I would not recommend this to you guys. It's even after the changes they made to enemy armor, the status effects, to the self-damage. It still feels like it's not as good as it should be. And that's really sad to say for a full auto explosive crossbow. Like, those words in the same sentence, full auto explosive crossbow, how do you mess that up? They found a way. It's just underwhelming feeling. Okay, so that was like one bullet on a corpus right there. Good thing this guy's just standing still for me. I can just test stuff on him. Alright, 2 bullets on him, and he got split in half. Pretty brutal. Yeah, and if you're going to want to proc slash on this thing, you're going to either need Hunter munitions, or you're going to need to wait for the explosion to happen after the initial shot impacts. Because the primary shot, like I said earlier, is mostly puncture. And honestly, most of your slash is in that explosion. So, yeah. It is, I mean, at least it's honestly, yeah, this thing is pretty much just mastery fodder to me, to be honest. I might actually just get rid of the Riven, because I don't use it anymore. I don't see them buffing this up, and it's just been underwhelming since it came out. Like, the Prime Access this one came from was Ninkandi Prime, Wukong Prime, and this. And let me tell you, the Ninkandi Prime is still really good, and Wukong Prime is still really good too, even though he got nerfed a little bit in like multiple ways. But this thing, they had to like specifically buff it, honestly, for me to use it at this point. Like, we need to see in the patch notes buffed the huge prime damage or something like that, and then I'd be like, all right, well, now I'll consider it. But yeah, guys, just some updates. I'm not sure when this video will go out, but there will be a dev stream on this Friday, which is, this video might go up on Friday, so it might have already happened. So if it already happened, I will be making possibly a video on if it's got important info. Like, I'm looking for Deadlock Protocol information from DE. I'm actually really excited for that update. I know I probably shouldn't be, but you know, the way that they've been wording it, it sounds like it will be an actual Warframe update that's like, not like, hey, here's some spaceships. Here's what was the Scarlet Spear again? Oh, here's another mobile defense. I'm hoping there's a new game mode. Like, the kind of the updates I like are the ones like Jovian Concord. We got a good new frame in Wisp. We got a really, really good new game mode. I love Disruption. And we got some good weapons too. Like, it's just also a tile work reset and a freaking new boss fight. What a great update. Like, if DE did every update like that, I feel like the player base would be a lot happier, personally. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you found this helpful. As I mentioned, I don't recommend this thing. And I wish it wasn't so disappointing. I really, really do. But that's just not the reality we live in. Maybe someday they will buff it up, and possibly the Rivens will get buffed. Like I said, 1.15 disposition on this thing, so you can get pretty high stats. But, you know, honestly, maybe with the better rig, my Riven is not really great DPS. Status chance and reload, those are not affecting my DPS at all. Only thing here is really helping is critical damage. So if I had critical chance, critical damage, multi-shot, Mice Infest, that would be a different story. But then again, that's a God roll Riven. I don't want to base the way this thing works at default off of the possibility of a God roll Riven, because I don't even have that thing. Like we did in the previous Jack Hussar video. I made a Jack Hussar no Riven video, and then we did the Riven video eventually with like a God Roll Riven and stuff. And the Jack Hussar, like I'm not basing my opinion of the Jack Hussar off of having a God Roll Riven. It's a really good weapon even without a good Riven. So yeah, I want to kind of treat this one the same way. So either way, guys, I will talk to you next time. Thanks for checking out the channel and all that stuff. We'll see you soon. Daily upload still. Might do a poll soon if you guys still want daily uploads on the channel. I don't want to burn you guys out. I can still keep up with it, but I don't want. It might just feel redundant. I'm uploading so many videos to some people, so that might be a poll here pretty soon, but not like immediately. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.